Real Enigmas and Theories is back again with another live stream. Good to see everybody out there. I'm glad y'all out here with us, rocking with us. Who's out here? Oh my goodness, we got Carrie in the building. Yes, indeed, sending love and much love sending right back to you. Indeed. No Context is in the building. Good to see you. Sparking up while we wait. Yep, I'm about to get into that. I'm about to match with y'all real quick. I'll match you. We have the wonderful, beautiful Del Senior in the building. Hello, everyone. Sending love as well. Good to see you, Real, and everybody. Yes, we have Christine and Jelly Bean in the building. Good to see you. Okay. All right. Y'all ready to talk about Severance? I know we wore most of 2024 out with From. I mean, we went from, I believe it was May. And we went all the way until maybe the beginning of this year talking about From. It was a great season. You know, we had some ups and downs. They took us on a really good ride. You know what I'm saying? Who else we got in here? We got Bank Run in the building. Yo, what's good? Good to see you. Who else we got? We got Ladder Ride. Yes, love watching all your breakdowns. I always learn something. Thank you very much. And I hope I didn't butcher your name too bad. I'm pretty sure I said it wrong. But yes, indeed, I'm happy to have you aboard. Glad all the new people that have been watching Severance coming through, dropping love in the comment section. I love to see it. I've been having a great time covering From. Covering Severance. I am recovering from a cold that I had at the beginning of this year. And my voice is finally coming back to me, able to do more videos. I just dropped one recently. I know a couple of you have saw it. Y'all have given me some love on that video. It was a real good one. Yeah, I'm ready to talk about this show and what's been going on and what we have to look forward to for episode 202. You know, hold on. Let's open up some pictures and talk for a minute. Let me get something that we can look at, something that we're all familiar with, and we'll go through some pictures. We'll talk about a few things. I brought up a few things in my latest video that I definitely want to talk about. Yeah, let's get to it. Yeah, here we are. We have something that we're all very familiar with, and that is Heli on the table. What else do we have in this batch here? This is my little video batch. Okay. Yeah, we got some very interesting stuff. You know, I think that this means something totally different. I'm looking at Allentown. You know, Allentown, that's a town in Pennsylvania. I wonder what the significance of that was. If anybody knows, drop some jewels down in the comments. We're going to talk about it. The Lumen Recycles, that stood out to me immediately. The exchange of cards. You know, a lot of shows have been referencing Native American nuances in these shows lately. And a lot of the symbolism has been consistent throughout Hollywood for the past few years. Well, really, since its inception. However, the last few years have been really saturated with a lot of the same imagery, symbolism, and even some of the same lines, characters. A lot's going on. And it's been shedding some light. A lot of it is very meta, and it has been peeking into our reality, which I think is actually dope. You know what I'm saying? The spell casting is real heavy within Hollywood. We're going to get into some of that. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what are we to expect for episode 2 of season 2. I think this one is going to be real crazy. The first episode, we got nothing but MDR, or nothing but the severed floor. And we really got to experience an entire episode as if we were in any. Like, it was kind of annoying not being able to see what was going on in the outside world. And so just imagine how an any would feel. That brings me right to what I wanted to speak about first. First, I'm going to go through the comments. I see some more people have arrived. I'm going to go through the comments here. Oh, there's Vic. Debbie, Ebby, Bobebi, Banana, Fana, Fofebi, Fifa, Momebi. Debbie is in the building. We got Vic in the building. I thought that was the first he finished in record time. I could be remembering wrong though. Okay. So so it must have been the name of a file. A lot of these files are names of cities. A lot of the files are names of cities. A lot of the files have different names of different things, actually, a couple of different things other than cities, but most of them have been cities. I thought that was very interesting. I thought what was interesting was her bringing up Delaware. And the ancient Lenape were called the Delaware by the Dutch settlers, and they were called the Delaware because of them being along the Delaware River and the Delaware Bay. And I thought that was very interesting on how during this here key exchange between Cobell and Mark, she also offered him a handshake, which the Lenape tribe had an agreement with the Dutch settlers where they gave them a handshake and allowed them to stay on the island that we now call Manhattan. However, the Dutch claimed that the island had been sold to them, but the Lenape really didn't even have a concept of land ownership. And so, the Manhattan Island ended up in the custody of the Dutch, and the Lenape pretty much were left in the dust. They had to move to other lands, which they did do. I thought that was very relevant because during the key exchange and them speaking, Cobell offers Mark a handshake. She said, you can request a handshake. And he was being anointed as the chief. He was being anointed as the macro MDR chief, macro data refinement chief. So there you have the word chief, which is also an Indian nuance or Native American nuance, with the indigenous people. And so I thought that was very interesting. And a lot of the shows do this as well. There's a lot of historic symbolism. I thought that the treats in the break room were very weird selection. I don't think I'd be hungry for any of that shit in the break room. It wasn't appetizing. We're talking about fruit leather, so that maybe fruit leather might be all right. We're talking about salsa, mints, they don't have actual lunches. It's crazy that the innies don't get to experience food like that either. There's so much that the innies are blocked off from that they don't get to experience. It's real crazy. Lenape gang. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We talked about that, Bank Run. Let's see. Did you get to check out what I was talking about? I did. It seemed to me, all right, so Bank Run is talking about a scene where he believes that Miss Wong was spying on Irv and Dylan's conversation in the hallway after they left the break room, the renovated break room. And From what I saw, I think I was right about what I saw. I looked at it again, and to me, it seemed like Milchick sent her to go get Dylan. And that's why she was standing there while they were talking, because there's shots, there's shots before during the scene where you don't see her standing back there. And she obviously like pulled up in the middle of their hug while Irv was telling Dylan whatever. And I'm sure if he would have seen, Dylan was looking, he was facing the hallway and Irv was facing the door. So if Dylan would have seen her, he probably would have told her like, yo, chill out. Unless she was standing there around the corner like Mark S was, which is very interesting as well. I thought that it was interesting that after Dylan's outie finds out about what happened with the overtime contingency protocol, his wife tells Milchick, well, this is what Milchick says. He's a liar though. She tells Milchick that she wanted him to know her name, which was Gwendolyn. I thought that was significant as well. There's something going on with Dylan. We're going to talk about it as well. We're going to talk about that. Let's see what's going on in the comment. Let's see. Oh, y'all not too active in the comments today. It's only 14 people in here. Get them likes up. Let everybody know you here. Share this live. Let everybody know you rocking with the Real Enigmas and Theories. We're going to rock out for a little while because I do know that the episode is out in certain places right now. You know what I mean? So I don't know how, but the episode comes out before 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time in some places. I don't know where, but I do know that I see a lot of the reviews popping up before the episode even drops, which is crazy to me. But yeah, I'm watching the episode with you. I didn't get these episodes early. I did get the Earth Abides episodes early. I watched it, didn't really do too much covering on it. We talked about it here and there during the live streams. It was a cool show. Glad it's over. You know what I'm saying? I don't see him doing a part 2. It was only 6 episodes. I think they just wanted to get a story off real quick that was in a book. It is what it is. It was good though. It was good. I'm not saying that it was bad at all. It was actually good. They used the resources very well to create this show. The production was great. Everything was great. I loved it. But yeah, I didn't get the episodes early for Severance, and so I'm watching it with you guys. I'll be watching it at 12 o'clock. I'm not going to make this live too long. I'm just going to talk about a few things. I definitely want the live stream to have some replay value. You know what I'm saying? We have Ragabi here. I want to talk about Ragabi for a second. There's a couple people that I want to talk about actually. Ragabi and Petey. We obviously know that Ragabi and Petey were working together. That's definite. That's established. Now, who else is Ragabi working with? Ragabi's definitely working with someone, and I believe this person to be still on the inside, and we haven't seen them yet. You know what I'm saying? And I'll get to why I think that as well. It's actually a train of reasons why I think that as well. Who else did I want to point out? I wonder what happened to homegirl right here, if we'll ever see anything from her again. Devin's midwife. You got Mark. He out here pulling them all in. He packing them all up. He got his wife right here. He got Helly. He got this girl right here. He already smashed this one right here. That's the midwife. That's crazy. Like, Mark is out here packing them up. He says, hey, I need all of them. He got Helly. You know what I'm saying? I think that's crazy. But who else was it? It was Rickon. I definitely want to talk about Rickon. Rickon seems to be very mysterious in a way. and he seems to be very charismatic. Um, he likes to talk. He likes to be the center of attention. And to me, it seems like he doesn't like Lumen at all. Um, he's questioned the morality of the severance procedure. He's questioned it on multiple levels. And as a matter of fact, this picture right here is of the scene where he was breaking it down on so many things on how it was wrong with it. But he said it in a nice way. You know, this shot right here is of Mark saying, no, what were you gonna say? I thought Mark, when I first watched that episode, I thought Mark was gonna get up from the table and slap the bullshit out of this guy right here. This guy right here is the asshole. I don't know what his name is, but he is a straight up asshole. He likes to act like he knows every motherfucking thing. And then when Mark found the baby in the room, he runs past Mark and grabs the baby like, yo, I found the baby. Like, sit your ass down. You didn't find the baby, bro. Like, come on. And he really wanted credit for that. You know what I'm saying? All of these people kind of seem real children, like childlike and yes man, like whatever this guy Rickon says, they're like, oh yes, oh yeah, no doubt, yeah, I love that. And you know, notice the octagonal patterns on the placemats here. You know what I'm saying? Just a little nice symbolism that they threw out there. This show was really good at that. Um, but here is what I wanted to talk about. What is Ragabi's plan here, and who is she working with? And what makes me ask that is, could she be working with one of the other severed workers? Could it be Dylan? And here's the reason why I asked that question. I remember when Dylan and Helly were in the break room at the egg party and they were talking, or I don't know if they were, not the break room, the kitchenette. I'm sorry, the kitchenette. And Dylan says to her, don't worry, this is just the step one in the plan. In other words, like he's indicating that there will be a step two. And my thing is, if you are getting out of this place and you're planning some like grand escape, how do you even know that there's going to be a step two, or to say that this is step one? And who told you that this was step one? We heard all of the conversations of their plan. We seen Mark and Helly go into the security room and look at the machinery and try to understand the computers. We saw all of that. So what is Dylan talking about when he tells Helly that this is just step one of the plan? How does he even know that? And what else does he know? Furthermore, how this ties to Ragabi is when she bats Grainer's head off real quick. First of all, I have two questions. Why did she hit him that many times? Which, like, obviously she was going to kill him. Like, obviously her objective was to kill him. But how did his hand end up in a plastic bag? I didn't see her pull out a plastic bag and put his hand in it. Let me find the picture real quick. But yeah, for sure, in this part right here, hold on, let me find it. Okay, wait. Okay, so she gives the key card. I gotta find the part where Grainer's hand is in a plastic bag. Somebody put his hand was in a plastic bag, y'all. Trust me when I'm telling you. His hand was in a plastic bag. But she gives the key card to Mark, and she says, take this into work with you. When your innie gets it, he'll know what to do with it. How would she even know that? How would she even know that his innie would know what to do with it? How does she know the tension that's building up down on the severed floor with MDR? How does she know about all these things? And how was her giving him that key card right on time with all the events. It was like it was just too perfect. It was just like a perfect storm of events that were going on. You had Bert and Irv linking up, sneaking around, and making Irv question his loyalty to Kier, pretty much. You had Helly trying to get out. You had Mark wondering about his best friend Petey, taking the map and dealing with the map that Petey drew, right? And then all of a sudden, Ragabi didn't say much to Mark. We didn't really get much information other than the fact that she's who put the Severance chip in there and designed the chips and everything, okay? And she's the only one that can reverse the process, I guess, right? That's all we learned from her. But then all of a sudden, she's telling him that his innie would know exactly what to do with the key card, which led to them breaching the overtime contingency protocol. How did she know that? Does she have somebody on the inside that is possibly letting her know the tensions that are going on? Now, one thing that I have realized is I think that the intro sequence where it shows Mark, walking and whatnot. Hold on, let me see if I can find a still shot of it. I don't think I have any of the intro scene, right? We have the intro scene. Hold on, I do know where I have some at though. Okay, hold on a second. The intro here. Okay, yeah, I have two of them. Let's drag these on down. Okay. Give me a second here. All I'm talking about is this little slide right here, guys. Wow, it just disappeared. I had it. Okay, this back here. The intro right here. Okay, in this intro, I believe that this is predicting that Mark will have reintegration sickness. Okay, now the reintegration sickness is how Petey was able to know what was on the map, because how else would he see the map? So he saw the map through his reintegration sickness. And what I'm thinking happened was his innie might have lifted it up to the mirror and showed it to him, because we do see Petey is able to see himself in the mirror through both persons, the innie and the outie. He looks in the mirror and he sees his outie in the shower, and the outie looks out of the shower and sees his innie in the mirror. And notice that when Petey is looking in the mirror, he's clean again. Like, he's not dingy like he was just a few seconds before. He's clean. His hair is combed. He's standing in front of the mirror looking fresh. His nose wasn't bleeding. So that was the innie Petey. And the outie Petey was let's see, where's the outie Petey? I have a shot of that. The innie and outie Petey looking at each other. I wonder if they can both see each other through the mirror like that. I wonder if the innie held up the map to the mirror so that Petey was able to make this version of his map. Because how would the outie Petey know what was going on the severed floor to even start mapping? And it does look like his map is an inverted version of the innie's map, which would mean that he held it up to the mirror in order for the outie to be able to see the mirror, to be able to see the map. I thought that is probably how Petey would know. Not only that, he's probably able to straight up communicate with him. He's probably able to straight up talk with him. Now, I would assume that this would start messing with the frontal lobe of the brain and the different areas of the brain. And this is why Petey's nose is bleeding. We also heard Dylan say that Petey might be out sick because he was breathing hard. Okay. And when Petey, before his nose started bleeding, he leaned down on the sink and he was breathing real heavy. So I'm thinking that Petey might have been having some reintegration episodes while he was on the severed floor. And this is where he was getting certain information from. Because how does he know? I'm your best friend down there. How did he know who Mark was? How did he know all of these things? Now, Ragabi could have told him who Mark was, but how does he know the context of their relationship? And I thought he said something very interesting. He said, I'm your best friend. And he said, and you're my very good friend. I don't quite know what that means yet. But there are a lot of things that the characters say to each other that are reoccurring. Like when Mark came into the room with Cobell's and when in Cobell's office, she says, go ahead and shut the thing. And then when he comes into Milchek's office, the same office, Milchek says, you can shut it. Both of them avoided saying the word door. And I think that that may have some significance, or it might continue to show up in the show. Also, the Lumen building in the animation made a joke about the door being its mouth. He was like, that's a mouthful or a door full. So I don't know. I don't know. Those things could kind of mean something as well. There's some other things like when Mark and his sister are doing their little inside joke with each other, of like trying to speak like English royalty, saying my lord and my lady. She calls him my lady and he calls her my lord. I also noticed the fact that Petey, when Petey bought that card for Mark, it was a card for your niece. It was like a card from an uncle to a niece. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like another gender swapping in context with Mark speaking to somebody. Another one of those things was when Irv said that this is not a bingo match. This is the living spirit of Lumen and everything she stands for. So Irv refers to Lumen as a female, and he also refers to Lumen as being the essence of Kier. I think that these things are significant. I think we'll continue to see them show up, and we'll be able to look in hindsight and say, oh, that meant this. Something will be revealed. I'm not sure what it is. As far as Gemma, something that I had neglected to put in the video was I think Gemma is in some kind of like capsule. I think she's in like one of those life-sustaining capsules with the screen with all her vitals and everything. It has a camera looking at her, and I think like with a glass case kind of thing. She might be standing up or they might be laying down. I don't know. But on the testing floor, there's probably multiple people down there. And I think Miss Cobell has a loved one that is down there as well. So, yeah, those are a couple things that I wanted to touch on real quick. Let me go ahead and look at the comments real quick. I'm sorry, I wasn't peeping the comments and staying up on it. What do you guys think about some of the rambling that I just did? Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm going to catch up on the comments, read some comments, and see what's going on. Let's see here. Oh, okay, Vic says, yeah, I think Rickon used to be severed too. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Rickon is actually a part of one of the groups that wants to destroy Lumen. You know, he seems like one thing about him, severed people are gravitate towards him. Severed people like his words, severed people love his words. I think his friend Rebecca is severed. I think most of his friends, if not all of them, are severed. I think there are a lot more severed people. Um, when we look at that painting, okay, hold on, let's find the painting. I apologize, guys. When I've said this before. If you follow the channel, you've been on my lives before. I talk about this. When you make these videos, you organize stuff, but you organize it for the video. You don't really organize it for like live streams and how it would be doing it. Like, I like to make my videos where um I actually have visual context for most of the points that I'm making. Sometimes, you get carried away and you just throw some images in there to pass the time away and to make the editing process a little quicker. But for the most part, I like to put some contextual visuals in there so you can see what I'm saying as well as hearing it. Now, this speaks to me a lot. It's a very strange painting. First of all, the sun, okay, it seems like it's shining through a veil. Like, these two panels right here seem to be veils, right? The sunlight gets a little weaker right here, and it's very strong in between the veil here. And beyond this veil, it also looks like there is a ledge and some sort of citadel in the background, okay? And so these two veils, like, they look like satin veils, right? And the light is coming through. Now, something very interesting, I'm sure everybody pointed this out here. You have your Dylan character, your Helly character, your Irv character, and your Mark character. And Kier's hand is on the head of the character that would most likely resemble Mark. Now, the problem that I have with this painting is that it's called Kier Pardons His Betrayers. Now, and I just want to point this out real quick. And I told you that a lot of the symbolism in here is very meta and everything. And, there's a lot of talk going on about pardoning right now, if you get what I'm saying. And I just think that that's very interesting that we find that in this show, along with a lot of the other revelations that I've uncovered and revealed in this show and other shows. I thought it was very interesting that in the Lexington letters speaks of trucks blowing up in front of buildings, just like what we saw last year after the election. I thought that that was very meta, even though that these things were written a long time ago. My take on it. If you follow my channel, kind of what I'm getting at here. Very in-depth references to what we actually see playing out in our real world. And some of these references are just spanning throughout different TV shows. I don't know if you agree with that or not. Maybe not. But back to the painting. The painting is very strange, and it's very strange painted. And the title of the painting, Kier Pardons His Betrayers. This doesn't look like a pardoning, okay? This looks like one of those medieval humiliation tactics where they would bury you up to your neck and let people piss and shit on you. Dogs would shit on people and piss on people. They'd throw rocks at people. And it really wasn't about the death, even though the death would happen. You know what I'm saying? It was more about the humiliation that the person had to go through when they were being punished. And most of this punishment happened in the Middle Ages, and it was used as a tactic to punish people who were betrayers or treasonous individuals. This doesn't look like a pardoning whatsoever. Now, if they were there, if these people or these soldiers, okay, which I think that is Lumen's end game, is trying to make soldiers out of men and women that are severed, because if you're severed, right, even if you quit Lumen, the chip is irreversible. And if they could do overtime contingency protocol, then they could just shut your whole life off, and you're the innie who a lot of these innies worship Pierre's word, and they want to be a part of that movement so much. boom, you got soldiers right there. That's what this are. This is a bunch of innies right here. This is his army that he's trying to erect. Now, these some of these look like pitchforks, and some of them look like scythes. Now, the thing about this is, if these were shovels, then I would understand what you mean by pardoning. But this doesn't look like anyone's about to be pardoned. Not only that, this one has blood on his head, and it appears to be blood on the sword of Keir as well. Keir is also seen with the light around his head, like you would see Jesus pictures and Jesus being depicted. I remember when they were walking in the perpetuity wing, going to the replica of the house, Helly says Jesus, and Irv says no, Keir. You see what I'm saying? So it was almost like saying Jesus was sacrilegious in the eyes of Irv, being that he's a follower of Keir. So the severed people follow Keir and they listen. Now, I believe that all of the severed individuals rebelled in the beginning. Mark says that he asked to leave about 20 times or so. Helly was going crazy, and nobody seems to be a stranger to the break room. Now, if you were just like happy-go-lucky, you come in there and you just started following the rules, what would even be a reason to end up in the break room other than possibly your Audi wasn't getting enough sleep and you fell asleep and you got punished for it or some shit like that? Like, what, so it's obvious that this process is pretty much the same for a lot of the people. Especially when you have a test or an intake test that involves asking questions that you have no knowledge of for a perfect score of only just randomly answering one of them, which isn't a right or a wrong answer, now that we know that other people had other different answers. You see what I'm saying? So, what is that even all about? Like, I mean, it just makes you think, like, what is this picture really trying to convey? Because it definitely doesn't look like a pardoning. You see what I'm saying? This doesn't suit to be a pardoning. A lot of the artwork will bring some of these nuances to you. I want to bring something that I haven't, man, I've made 3 videos on Severance so far, and I have neglected to talk about one of my points that I wanted to make. I know I'll probably have to go and find the slide because I haven't used it in a video yet, so it's probably not even in here. But I brought up some of the one eye symbolism. Now, we've seen some one eye symbolism with Mark in one of Irv's dreams when he fell asleep. And Mark right here, the one eye symbolism. But there's also other one eye symbolism, and it's a black eye symbolism, right? And we noticed this in From as well. From also had the black eye symbolism with Victor's father, Henry. Now, that his black eye was totally inconsistent with any of his injuries or what happened in the car wreck, right? He didn't hit his eye. He didn't hit the steering wheel. He didn't hit her in a way where he would hit his eye, but he ended up with a black eye. And one thing that I noticed is that Helena's father also has a black eye. Now, I'm going to go find that real quick because I want to show y'all that. I'm going to go find that real quick and screenshot it and whatnot and get that down for y'all. I want to show you guys that. Hold on. Where is it at? Okay, I'm right there already. Yeah. Bro's got a black eye, y'all. Now, hold on. So the black eye, or the so-called panda eye, he has that. Let's get into it. Wait. Let me crop this image, drop it in the folder, and we're right on the way. I kind of like doing the live stream in real time instead of like getting a bunch of images together. I pretty much have my folder, and I watch the show enough to where I can go off the top of my head. I might not get everything right or remember everything, but I watch it enough. You know what I'm saying? So let's go and let's see here. There's the folder. There's the screenshot. Let's drop that in there. Okay. Now it should be available on the slide. Oh, where was it? Was that it? No, that wasn't it. It's at the end. Okay, yeah, bro has a black eye. I know y'all can see. Oh, I know y'all can see that, right? Bro has the black eye. Okay. So one thing that we do know is that Kier, hold on, let's get that other picture back in the mix. I think it's relevant. So this is Kier when he was a little boy, right? And this is his son, I guess. And this is or grandson or son. I don't even know how far the descendants are or what the relations are. They're actually old enough to be his children. This guy does look like it at least. If Kier died in 1939, I mean, my grandmother was born in 1926, and so she'd be over 100 or something like that right now. Like, all right, so look, this is a picture of Kier when he was a young bull, and he was sick. He had some kind of disease where he would get bruises and shit all over him. But he ended up living longer than all of the CEOs at Lumen. He lived for like 98 years. Now, I believe it was 98 years or 80 something years, something like that. It was on the wiki, the Severance wiki, which is somewhat reliable. We see that he has the black eye symbolism, and this kind of speaks to this with Kier having his condition or whatever. But I mean, despite his condition, dude had a worldly life. I mean, he was in the military, he was a soldier. You see what I'm saying? He also was one of those salesmen where they, one of them snake oil salesmen riding around in the carriage selling skin balms and salves and shit like that, saying, yeah, this tonic will cure everything. It'll cure your dandruff, it'll cure your gout, it'll cure your kidney stones. Just put a little bit on your ass cheek and slide over to the left, do the hokey pokey, turn yourself around, put a drop of it on your nose, go to sleep, wake up, and this shit's gonna work, bro. I'm telling you. So this is the way that Kier was. He was one of them cats. He's in the league of those fortune tellers that used to ride around in the stagecoach with crystal balls and shit, just like the bro from the Wizard of Oz, the wizard. What was his name? Professor Marvel. Okay, Professor Marvel was riding in a stagecoach, and that's where Dorothy met him. He pulled out the crystal ball and everything. There's a lot of symbolism in the Wizard of Oz in that scene where he's in the stagecoach. So I thought that was very interesting. You know what I'm saying? I talked about a couple of other things. How long we've been rocking? 45 minutes. Let's go ahead and hey, there's PM in the building. Good to see you. You know what I'm saying? Good to see you. I'm just in here going off, just talking that shit a little bit, just spreading the wings out a little bit of I took my from wings off, and now I'm spreading my severance wings out a little bit, letting the audience hear how familiar I am with the show, how I approach looking at the show. And I'll leave this live up, everything, so that y'all can rewatch, and the people will watch it. I don't even want it to be an hour long, so I'm gonna hop off of here in a minute. As I am looking right now, I think that the show is out and available for some people. It's not available for me until 12 o'clock, so I got a little bit of time. But I tell you what, guys, I think that I might go live after the show. I don't know. I might go live after 12, maybe, maybe not. You know what I'm saying? Run this video up, hit them likes, get them likes up, and we'll see what happens. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just want to break a couple of those things down. I want to save a little bit of it for later because I got some more stuff to talk about. Um, I got some more stuff to talk about. I'm gonna get into it later. And just a little something to think about while we wait on the next episode. That's all for the live stream tonight. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. And by the way, stay tuned because I'm going to be going live more and more on Severance and dropping some more videos as well. So hit that like. If you are not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Join. I'm going to be switching up the emojis, changing the from emojis, dropping some Severance joints in there, and we'll go from there. I appreciate all of you for coming through listening, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.